I'm Craig Kenneth, a relationship coach and a psychotherapist. Every relationship is different and every breakup is different. Work with me and you'll get professional help on your situation. And if you're in no contact, focused on personal growth, my workbook series, The Knowledge, will help you make changes like you've never made before. Available now at AskCraig.net. Hi there, I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And today we're going to be talking about my ex is dating someone new and it's killing me.
Oh, how awful.
One of the worst feelings you could have during a breakup is when you find out that your ex is now seeing other people.
And how do you usually find that out?
Usually it's because you're stalking their social media. And you can't help yourself.
Okay. And remember, there's always that person out there who can't wait to tell you.
That happens too.
Yeah.
Or you'll see them somewhere, but a lot of the times it's the social media.
Okay.
We just can't stop thinking about the person, and we want to look at their social media because we feel like we're connected to them.
Yes.
You know?
Sure.
And then you see a picture with them and someone else, and it is horrible.
Yeah. Especially,
Margaret, because a lot of times they've told you, there's nobody else.
Right.
I'm not leaving you for somebody else. And they swear up and down.
They swear up and down. Well, we've heard that one before. Yeah.
And then a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks later, there's somebody else. Oh, it's devastating.
I had one just recently where it was 4 days.
Yeah, that's awful.
And she was very upset, and who blames her?
Yeah. It's probably one of the most painful feelings you could have.
Oh, it's not only rejection, it's there's something wrong with you feel like.
It's not, getting broken up with being dumped is one of the worst feelings you could have. Yeah. But then to see someone else in the picture, it just is so much more painful. And there's a lot of fears that are going on behind that. We're going to get to that in a minute.
All right.
But I had a nice little email that I wanted to share.
Okay.
And then we've got some really good pointers and some good ideas that we're going to talk about on this one. Mm-hmm. So they said, "Hi, Coach Craig and Margaret. I just found your channel a few weeks ago, and I cannot even express how much you have both changed my life."
Oh, well,
and Margaret, how often do you hear that? Even a couple, I get people a week, and they're like...
So do I. And we're so happy to hear it. We meant to be hopeful. Thank heaven we are.
Absolutely. Because we know what you're going through.
Yeah.
They said, "I have been blown away by all the information that you teach. It's truly remarkable how much you share with us for free. I really do appreciate it and have already purchased workbooks 1 through 5, and they're really great. They have calmed my anxiety down a lot.
Good.
I really didn't expect that, but they have become a part of my daily routine, like my workouts." Oh. That's great. That's exactly what they're meant to do.
Okay.
Like a workout, 20 to 30 minutes
This is an
every day.
emotional workout.
Yeah, exactly.
Emotional muscle building, I heard it called once.
Absolutely. I was doing pretty well and starting to feel some progress. However, I just found out yesterday my ex is going out with somebody. 3 weeks out of our relationship.
3 weeks.
I am crushed. It's been very emotional, but I'm staying focused. I'm working out and bettering myself. But this is the worst pain I've ever had in my life.
Sure.
I was hoping you could do a video talking about this. I feel like my ex is going to move on and forget me. That is one of the huge things that is just overwhelming.
Everybody's afraid to death of that. Yeah.
And you saw me go through that.
I did.
It's so painful. I completely understand this pain. I have been there multiple times. And Margaret and I were talking before we filmed this one, and I said to her, I think the only 3 women that broke up with me were to date somebody else.
Right.
Right?
How awful.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And so I know what that's like, and it is horrible. It's a pain like no other. It takes the pain of a breakup and just multiplies it by like 1,000.
Right.
right?
Was I that easily replaced?
That's right.
Was I that sort of run-of-the-mill? So I could be substituted by somebody you barely know?
Yeah. Because one of the first things you think is that the new relationship is going to last. You're convinced of it.
Yeah.
Right? You're just absolutely convinced.
They're going to go off into the sunset together, and I'm going to have to watch.
And you had to tell me 1,000 times that the breakup wasn't going to last, or they weren't going to...
The rebound probably wasn't going to last.
And Margaret was right.
Yeah. Oh, no, she's already forgotten me. I know she has. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it's just so overwhelming because you are only thinking about your ex's qualities and how much they meant to you and how badly you want to be with them, and you think that this new person is going to view your ex in the same way. We've talked about this before.
Probably not.
But no, because they're not attached to your ex. They're just getting to know them, right? So it's not the same. For them, it's a new thing that they're just toying around with and exploring, not this deep emotional bond and connection like you've had with them, right?
Right.
But the idea that the new relationship is going to last is just, it kills you. Mm-hmm. It happens, but rarely. I would guess 97% of the time it doesn't last.
Yeah, it doesn't last because it's quick, it's jumped in too quickly, and There's
a million reasons why it doesn't last.
Yeah.
But it usually doesn't, rarely does it. Okay, one of the next things that we have seen is that you compare yourself to them.
What does she have that I don't have?
Yeah. This guy looks like Beaky Buzzard, and she's leaving me for this?
For him?
He's like a beanpole with a buzzard face.
And he really did look like that.
And Margaret's seen
Craig's
him.
not kidding. I saw a picture of him.
I'm not kidding.
I had forgotten Beaky Buzzard, who was a cartoon character.
And, and then other people were telling me about him.
Yeah.
Oh, he's just this real goofball. I can't even believe they have him working here. He's so immature. He's so this, he's so that. And I'm like... Why would she
like him
that?
better than me? Yeah.
Because she was out of her mind.
Yeah. Of
right?
course, there could be no other possible explanation.
Yeah. I mean, in that particular situation, she was going through a divorce, and I just didn't realize at the time how emotionally kind of unstable she was because of that falling apart. But she regressed significantly after our breakup. And that's why she was drawn to somebody like that, as opposed to somebody who was caring. And literally anybody that knew us said, you were a great couple, great family, get along great. All our friends got along.
But he clearly had nothing on Greg. Nothing.
And so you're going to do that, and it's normal. Yeah. And honestly, in most of the cases, you may say, look at what they're bringing to the table. Nothing. They don't even really care about them. I had a guy yesterday who... was with this girl, and she left him for an ex. Now, they'd been together a couple of years. Yeah. Left him to go back to an ex from a few years ago. Mm-hmm. Now, here's the crazy part of the story. Somebody that he knew was friends with his best friend. Mm-hmm. Just randomly. They didn't know that.
Right.
But they got his best friend got information from the other friend that when his girlfriend was calling the ex was like, oh, it's my crazy ex. Hung up on her. Didn't even want to talk to her.
Wow.
Was mean to her. Was rude to her. Wants nothing to do with her.
She goes back to him.
So she leaves the nice guy who has really been in therapy and processed and dealing with things for a guy who literally doesn't even want to talk to her. He sees, oh, she's crazy. Hangs up.
She wasn't healthy enough yet to stay with the healthy guy.
And that's what I was trying to tell him.
Sad, yeah.
Because, I mean, I could see that this guy had done a lot of work, a lot of personal growth.
Right.
And he was very encouraging and supportive and not angry about what she did. I was trying to get him angry.
Yes, he would have felt better.
Yeah, but he was so processed rationally that he was kind of overlooking how he should be feeling.
Right.
Because she lied to him.
Yeah.
She said, no, he contacted me.
Anybody.
She said he contacted me when the truth was she was chasing him and left him to be with the ex. Oh, sad. It was rough to see this guy go through that.
Poor guy. He's saying, I did all this work and I still lose.
Yep. The other thing is that you feel like you're replaced.
Right.
right? And it's a horrible feeling.
How insignificant must I be if I can be replaced in 3 weeks?
Yeah. And, you know, sometimes it's shorter than that. But even if it's like 2 or 3 months, you're still like, how could they do this so quickly? How can they move on so quickly?
Right.
So, yeah, it makes the feeling a lot worse, right? When you feel like you're being replaced. But nobody can replace you.
No.
You can't replace.
That's a fantasy. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can't replace a real life human being.
No.
Yeah.
A lot of times you're looking at yourself. What's wrong with me?
Right.
Why would they leave me? What did I do wrong?
And that's the first thing most people think. What did I do wrong? How is this my fault?
Yeah. What do you think it is, Margaret, about us that makes us immediately go to that?
Well, I think what we have learned, we already knew, but we've had it reinforced doing this particular work now, is that most people got mostly negative feedback from parents, teachers, coaches, and all the people they grew up around. And it's not that any of those folks meant to leave kids feeling bad about themselves, but we give kids much more response for what they did wrong than for what they did right.
Wow.
Okay?
Yep.
And I think, remember that Helmstetter, that Dr. Helmstetter, whose work I was interested in, and he talks about self-talk. He wrote what to say to yourself. When you talk to yourself, what to say to yourself. And he's saying we all need to say positive things to ourselves, because I forget the number he uses, but it's huge. It's like we've had 1,000 and some odd put downs by the time we reach adulthood.
Wow.
You know, and I think he's absolutely right. And I think how we talk to ourselves is very important. So at this time, you need to remind yourself not how it must have been your fault, but the good things about you that you thought your ex understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You think, how could they leave me?
How could they leave me?
We've been together for
How
however
could
long
they
it was.
do this to me?
Why wouldn't they try and repair this first? And it feels so easy for them to walk away because, you know, people are just very driven on how they're feeling.
In the moment.
Yeah.
Yes, in the moment. And I think the healthier you are, the more cautious you are. But if you're feeling terrible in the moment, you can often do something crazy to make yourself feel better. Now, in the case you were just talking about, I was thinking that this girl might have realized that with all the growth this boyfriend had done, that for her to really be with him, she was going to have to do some growing too, which she may have found scary.
Wow.
Yeah. And this guy is now kind of beyond my maturity level. I better go back to the guy I was comfortable with.
Wow. Even though he didn't care about
Even
her.
though he didn't care about me. Right?
I think a lot of people would be angry.
Sure they would.
I would be.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that would be a healthy emotion.
It would be, anger is absolutely a healthy emotion. Don't ever forget it, because we're told from birth, remember, don't be angry, don't be angry. If you get angry, you'll get in trouble, and, you know, all the adults will be down on you. But anger is a normal, healthy emotion if you learn to express it in a healthy way. We can't manage without it, because it tells us when we're being stepped on.
Yeah. Another big point is we wonder how our ex can be so hurtful to us.
Right.
Because they immediately go from this warm, loving, caring person to somebody that you've never seen before.
Who appears to be ice cold and not be moved by you at all.
Which I've described as like a faucet of love, and they just turn it off and you don't get another drop.
Not another drop, no. And people say that all the time. How could he do that? How could she do that? Don't they know how hurt I am? Don't they know how different it is? Well,
it's normal.
Yeah.
It's what the dumper does. We just see it over and over again.
The dumper finds dumping difficult also. And to that extent, they turn off their emotions to do it. If I really think about how much I love you, I can't dump you. But if I can turn all that off, then I can dump you. Yeah.
You know, and yeah, so we're just obsessed with like, you know, wondering like, how can they just stop caring? How can they turn off that fast? One of the things we think is it because they never loved me?
That's one of the first things I hear, at least from the women. Does that mean he never loved me? No, it doesn't.
No.
No, it doesn't. And I think in most cases, people are perfectly sincere for as long as the relationship lasts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Remember, feelings change.
Yeah. Rapidly sometimes.
Yes, really. And depending on circumstances in their life, that's, the reason they can change, right? Maybe they found that they were more attracted to somebody else, or they were frustrated because you were neglecting their needs for a long time and they just got fed up, whatever. Yeah. Feelings are fluid. They change like the sky, right? The clouds in the sky. And I've said that for years. And so that's why they can change so quickly, right? Just like if you watch a cloud as it moves across the sky, it can look like 20 different things. You watch it and you're like, oh, that looks like a dinosaur riding a boat. And then you look over there and then now it's a turtle on its back.
How whimsical of you, Craig. How charming.
Don't you look at the clouds and look for little
pictures? Yes, but I didn't think you did.
I do. I've got an active imagination.
Yes, you do. That's good.
So, the change is normal. The shock is because you've never seen them do it to you before.
Right.
Right?
And it doesn't mean they never loved you.
No. And it doesn't mean that their feelings can't change back.
No.
It doesn't always mean that they will, but it doesn't mean that they will.
Yeah.
Or they won't. Right? It's just
right.
where they're at. Okay. One other thing that we really wanted to talk about. The easier that they can turn off their feelings to you probably indicates that they're less healthy. Right?
Yes.
You want to talk about that?
You wanted me to explain that. Okay.
Yes.
The healthy personality is pretty well integrated, meaning that if I have a soft, loving side and I have I'm tough as nails side, if I can totally cut one off to do the other, I'm not real well integrated, meaning coming together. Mm-hmm. Okay? So if you're integrated, then it would be very hard to break up with someone by getting angry at them and putting all those warm, fuzzy feelings aside. And there sometimes, very rarely, are breakups where the person says, I love you, I always have loved you, but I don't see that this is going to work out. Mm-hmm. And I guess what most people say now is, I don't see us together. I don't have a vision.
I don't see a future with us.
I don't see a future with us. But that's much better than, I really never liked you and now I'm cold as ice.
Yeah.
Okay? So if you're able to kind of use your warm feelings and you're angry, I'm determined, I'm setting limits here, I have to break up with you. The easier it is for you to separate those two altogether, probably the less healthy you are. Mm-hmm. And there are people who say, well, I have a warm, fuzzy side, but I don't let anybody see it. Well, then you might as well not have it because it's not integrated into the rest of your personality. And it is possible to be integrated and still be able to have a whole range of different emotions. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense?
I think so.
Okay.
We'll probably have to come back to it.
All right, that's fine.
Day.
I'm very willing to come back to it.
But just know that finding out that your ex is dating somebody else is one of the most devastating feelings that you can experience, I think.
And talk about abandonment.
Yeah.
Not only did they abandon you, they replaced you while they were at it.
And they think this new person is better than you. Right? And that really hurts.
All the dishes I washed, all the times I helped you with your kids.
Exactly.
All the times I went to the store at midnight when you wanted a chocolate bar.
Yes.
And you can do this to me.
Like when I was told that my ex told me that she adored Beaky Buzzard. Remember?
Yes.
She was barely out of that relationship, so she still thought he was great and wonderful. But he wound up leaving her for someone else.
Because he was very beaky.
So, we understand it's very difficult. It hurts. Hopefully, understanding why it hurts so bad can help you process it a little bit better. Of course, when you want to get our help personally, just go to my website, askcraig.net. Sign up for the coaching option that works best for you. I do email coaching and I do Skype. Margaret is available for Skype coaching.
I also do Skype coaching. Feel free to sign up with me.
Just click on Margaret on the top of the website. Remember to subscribe to the channel, and I am podcasting on iTunes and Spotify and all the podcast platforms that are out there. But that's it for this video. I'm Coach Craig Kenneth.
I'm Coach Margaret.
And we will talk with you soon.